7 p.m.
88.7 KISL Avalon Radio, the greatest radio station in the world.
That's right. This is KISL, the one and only Avalon radio station. Tonight I got a special guest, Señor Gigio. He has a new album that he released, Life Aquatic. So we'll be going over some of those, a couple of his songs that I have on here. This is Break at 7. It's been a while since I've been on. Let me reintroduce myself. My name is B-Girl Awoke. I created this station, this specific show, I shouldn't say, let me clarify, this specific show for the kids that I teach here, breakdancing. So I do a lot of break beats. But amidst all that, and with COVID and everything, I started doing a lot of interviews and, you know, getting involved in my hip-hop community by sharing their work as well. And it's been a great journey. So I'm excited that I'm doing more and more interviews with other artists. Thank you for being here tonight. We're going to have a lot of music. Got that funk, that soul, the break beats. I got some hip-hop and everything. I got it all mixed up in my own little way here tonight. So again, thank you. And let's get to some music. Before you know it, I'll have Señor Gigio here on the phone, and we'll be chopping it up about his newest project. Thank you for joining me here today. Move the furniture, put on your sneakers, and let's break. Oh, yeah. This is Break at 7. I'm your host, B-Girl Awoke. And I got Señor Gigio on the other line. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's happening?
How you doing?
I'm doing really well.
First off, I got to congratulate you on fatherhood.
Thank you.
Heard,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. It's a new, that's a new venture.
Oh, yeah, it's been an adventure just from the jump, just from the moment we found out.
So let's get talking
basically,
about... Yeah. What's your son's name?
My son's name is Montez, and basically we found out that my wife was pregnant at 7 months, so it's been quite the adventure.
Are you kidding me? I had no idea. Get ready, quick.
He's 2 months now, so 2 months old now. So, yeah, time is flying. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah, congratulations. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you. We talked before on the show with Arm Slice and the track that you did on his album that I love. It was so great. I'm glad that was the song that introduced me to you, because I just can't get over that track. Like, it's definitely one of my newest faves. It doesn't get old. It cracks me up. Great storytelling, great beat, great production, solid track.
Right on. Yeah, it's a fun track.
And so tell me about yourself, and how has hip-hop culture played a unique role in your upbringing?
Oh, for sure. I'm an MC, just all around, just artist. I love music. I make music. And I've been pursuing, a career in music, and particularly as an MC, and for, the last 10 plus years. But really just hip-hop, in my upbringing, I think it just is the right time, the right place. If I was born in any other era, if I was born during the Renaissance times, maybe I'd be doing some Shakespeare stuff, it's just the right time, and I love the vehicle that of hip-hop, of what it's allowed me to do, and essentially it's just allowed me to just become the person who I am. It's been the medium for me to find myself, to find my voice, and to relate to others, and to be able to give to others and receive from others, so it's it's just been a great medium for self-discovery, and also, again, just communication with people. So
you mentioned Shakespeare. When did you start writing? It just made me think of you as we are writers. We like to write some poetry. Definitely into the craft. We're learning, from birth how to walk and how to talk. So to be able to, like you said, use it as this tool in an everyday life, and it's bringing you up. Like, so when did you start? When did you really find a passion for it?
Right. Well, like, I think I was always, like, naturally, you know, I didn't really do too well in school, but I liked English. You know, I liked English and writing, you know, like, or I should say I liked it enough to just show that I could do something good. Almost like I was good enough that I could, you know, trick the teacher into thinking that I put more thought into it than I did. You know? But really with, like, rap music, like, of course, like, rap was already out in the 90s, you know, it was already a thing. So being a kid, it wasn't really, like, something to like, think about, like, oh, like, this is something that's brand new and revolutionary. It just was already there. But essentially, when I started becoming an adolescent, I think I started actually listening closer to what the MCs at the time were saying, and really becoming invested in wanting to listen to the albums as a whole, and just kind of maturing in that way. And really, like, listening to Nas's album at the time, which was I Am. And I feel like I think I was like 11 or 12 when it came out, and it just blew me away. Just like all the storytelling he was doing, just the diversity of everything he was doing, and by the end of the album, like, that was like the first legit, like, rap album that I listened to from front to back. And I was crying pretty much, you know what I mean? Like, out of inspiration. And I just knew
Totally.
that was,
that album, if you're new to it, it demands respect and appreciation. And it's a great one too.
And I knew that's what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to give people a taste. We're going to start off slow. We'll get into the more dance tracks towards the end of the show. But I want to kind of explain to them, or have you explain, rather, where do you get your eclectic taste from? Because it's very eclectic. Worldly, even. Right
on. Thank you. I think, you know, I think that also became just a thing that, like, I started maturing more into high school, like, just finding my identity more as a rapper. Like, in my high school, you know, like that was also a way that I was able to kind of form an identity for myself, and to be able to have, like, you know, like, a reputation and relate to others. It was like that I rapped on campus, and we used to have rap battles and ciphers and stuff. But I guess one of the things that I knew I was different, and over time I just didn't want to sound like anybody else on my campus. So I was like, when I was like 16, I was already, like, doing the research and going back into time and listening to Pink Floyd and Beatles and Bob Marley and Bob Dylan and, you know, Curtis Mayfield and everything. And I think just from that point, I always knew, and I was listening to it for the inspiration. It was almost like I knew that somehow wrapping my brain around what they were doing would open me up to just a different kind of writing. And, you know, ever since, it's always been the mission, really, to just be musical. And really, with this last album, I really got a chance to get more of that musicality out. So,
yeah, Closer to You, which is the track I'm going to play here shortly, it really brought me back to Outkast. He's very fluid with his blues vocals and his modern expressive content. I feel like that's how a lot of your tracks are. They're modern, but they have this, like, old blues, and you jump around through, like, hip hop and other flavors, and it's just fearless. It's very fearless music, you know, boundless almost. So I'm really appreciating it. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about Closer to You before we start that track? Anything we should know?
Sure. So yeah, it's like a double love song, where it's like, on one end it's like a love song for my lady, but then on the other hand it's also very introspective and, like, about self-love, you know, like, it's about like that balance of having self-love, and, you know, that's like the struggle. The better I can love myself, then, like, the realer my love can be for my partner. So that's kind of what the song is about.
I love it. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Closer to You, coming to you right now on KISL 88.7 FM. And don't turn that dial. When we get back, we're going to ask more questions about the man, Señor Gigio. Oh, yeah. I'm your host, B-Girl Awoke. This is Breakout 7. And I'm here with Señor Gigio. We're going over his latest album, Project the Life Aquatic. How you doing there?
I'm doing really good.
Yeah, so back to the music.
Yeah.
Is it first, I want to let people know also if they want to find you. Is it safe to say we can find you on all platforms as Señor Gigio?
Pretty much, yep. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
And that's Gigio for all my listeners out there.
Yeah, yep.
What inspired this album, this project, The Life Aquatic?
Well, I got to work with part of the reason why the title is called The Life Aquatic is due to the producer who I worked with, who goes by Aquaman. And really, it was just a chance to link up with a super talented person and a really just spiritual person too. Like me and him connect on a really deep soul level too. But most of my music up until this point has been largely sample based, jazz, boom bap, rap kind of stuff. And I just never had the opportunity to work with somebody to make some stuff from scratch, and especially someone as genius as this guy. So, we've been running in similar, we've been running in some of the same circles with each other as artists. And I was hearing his music, and I hit him up, and I said, dude, I want to make an album with you, and I just want to do everything. I want it to be world music, soul music, dance music,
I completely understand.
Trap, and hip hop, all of it, and he just was totally with it.
Well, and to find someone that will start and finish the project, I mean, talent is definitely a huge part of it, but then, to the follow through.
Oh yeah, no, totally. No, it's just, it's a complete blessing, really.
It's great. The apple that fell far from the tree, the next track we're going to play, and a few other tracks, they feel very conscious. So I get that, this was the vibe at the studio now. That was one of my questions, so that's great. Is this track speaking from personal experience? Are you the apple that fell far from the tree?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Well, I love how you talk about that and Rolling Stone in the song and everything, and so I was like, oh, okay. I get it. I feel...
Yeah.
I try to be that apple.
Right. Well, it's... I never rebel for the sake of rebelling, I never rebel just to be a rebel, But when you know that it's only ever for the sake to be myself, and if that means standing up against, just environments that are easy to kind of compromise and be comfortable in for whatever reason, if it's the society constructs or the family constructs, the neighborhood constructs, whatever it is, So that's why it's the apple that fell far from the tree, right?
Right. So I would say even this for my next question, a favorite collaboration you've done thus far. This sounds like one of them. Is this your favorite that you've done thus far? As far as collabos go?
Well, with a producer, for sure. Totally. With a producer, yes. Yeah, hands down.
And how about MCs?
Well, I got some dope. I've worked with a lot of dope MCs. But I will say, I almost don't want to blow it up, but I will say that I got to work with one of my heroes earlier this year, but that's going to come out on the next album. So,
okay.
Mum's it's kind of a life accomplishment for me, but...
Dope. So it's a dream collaboration then?
It is, yeah.
Out of the 20 projects, so you've done like over 20 projects since 2006, right?
Yeah.
So out of all those projects, which one captures you the best?
That's a good question. I think it's, I mean, you know, I hate to be cliche because it's the newest one, but I almost feel I gotta say the Life Aquatic, just because I really get to just showcase my musicality alongside with my MC, and so it's very diverse. It kind of shows like my skill set, like not just as an MC, but just as a songwriter and performer. So I think that's my best work.
Yeah, and we're always evolving. So it's like, hey, I'm here today, so this is the best.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Well, awesome. Let's take a quick peek at the apple that fell far from the tree, back to the album, The Life Aquatic. We're going to listen to a few tracks, and then we're going to get to know Señor Gigio a little bit more. So stay tuned here on KISL 88.7 FM, the greatest radio station in the world.
As it's been told throughout.
Oh, yeah. This is Break at 7. I'm your host, B-Girl Awoke. And I'm sitting here with the prolific Gigio, Señor Gigio, which you can find on all platforms as Señor Gigio. And we're just going through some tracks from his latest album, The Life Aquatic. Up next, we're going to be talking about Depending on the Weather. But before that, are you there with me?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm chilling.
Chilling. It's good. Good music, good vibes, good conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a step back. Tell me about your comic books. Are you illustrator, writer, overall creator?
Oh, sure. All of the above, really. But so in 2018, I put out this album called Heroes of the Gold Rush, and it was a concept album, a Western, you know, revisiting. Well, the whole idea was like touching 1848 and everything that was going on with the California Gold Rush, and connecting the dots kind of to what's going on in the Bay Area, you know, at the time, and just how everything correlates, you know, kind of 360. So I had a lot of different storytelling songs on there, and there was one song in particular called Three Doors, and I got the idea to do a comic book for it, so I did, and I released it to complement the album. And 16 pages, I drew it all by hand, and I came up with the story myself, too.
Well, I love the illustrations. I haven't read the comic book yet, but I definitely got to now that I'm listening to the album. So I feel like, which I love. You know, I feel like, remember the days when we had the CD case and we had that fold out? Like that fold out was everything. The case, the whole package, and I really like that you made a comic book and it like goes with it, because you know that's hand in hand. Because to me, that's it. That would give you the same vibe of back in the day when you got this. You know, you got the bang for your buck, and you got this whole artistic package.
Right. Well, I'm really big on that too. Actually, like all my albums, I have like physical copies of everything, and they are like full on art experiences too. So like every album, I would almost say like, I mean, it's kind of its own process, you know, doing the visual part of it, but like I get pretty intensive. Like, you know, there's like there's making the music, recording it, and all that. There's that part, but I get very intensive into making the art for it, you know, so that people can have something physical that they can hold in their hands and look at and be like, wow, this is pretty cool. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Piece of art. Yeah. And
you can also you can kind of dial it in and find out more when you check out his social media, Señor Gigio. And then also make sure to check out his music video for the track that's coming up after this, Swimming in the Bay. Anyways, we'll go over that when we get to that track. But
Sure.
Depending on the weather, this track I'm going to play up next, it comes off as spiritual, woke. Is that what you're going for? Like a coexist song?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I have a very, like, just me personally, you know, like part of my own, like, you know, spiritual awareness and practice and observation is just being grounded here on the planet. And so I personally have what I feel is a connection to the earth, you know, as a living spirit, as a being, you know. And you know, I just see a lot of conversations kind of get thrown out there about nature and just about, I don't know, a lot of stuff I just see kind of gets perpetrated with a political bias, and you know, maybe for good, but a lot of it just seems misguided to me. And I just wanted to add my 2 cents on it, you know, my perspective on it, on just how I experience the earth, and just understanding her language, you know, which is weather patterns and things like that, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, and really, it's like I look at it like, you know, the earth is so much more powerful than we give her credit for, you know.
I totally get that, and it's more like, we'll see what she does, and then we'll make our plans accordingly.
Well, because, you know, we're really good at making stories up. You know, we're really good at making stories up and assuming that what's this and what's that. You know, and making we're always making the doomsday story, but that's not really up to us. You know,
right.
That's just to sell something.
Yeah,
whatever it is. You know,
I love it. And is that your mission? Would you say this conscious spiritual path, or is it just mainly because you worked with this producer and that's just the vibe you guys cultivated together? What would you say your mission in music? I know you said musicality in general, but
right. Well, no, spirituality is a big part of what I'm doing too with music, and you know, bringing some kind of enlightenment through, you know, even if it's just as simple as just people just having joy, you know, that's, you know, taking ownership of having joy, even if it's just something simple like that. But if there's a deeper, you know, people can have a deeper connection and form a spiritual practice and start looking at themselves in a, I don't know, with more regard, you know, then great job freaking well done for me. So yeah, it is part of what I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, let's take a listen, and I feel like we're gonna go a little bit over the hour, so stick with me, Señor Gigio,
sure.
And all my listeners. We're gonna go a little bit over the hour so we can make sure to get all these dope tunes in and just have a good time doing it. Keep it easy flowing here on Break at 7, KISL 88.7 FM, greatest radio station in the world. Up next is Depending on the Weather by Señor Gigio.
Island time is 8 p.m.
88.7 KISL Avalon Radio, the greatest radio station in the world.
That's right, y'all. You're here listening to Break at 7 with your host, B-Girl Awoke. I'm sitting here talking with Señor Gigio, and we're just going over some tracks from his newest release, The Life Aquatic. We're just getting going. We're getting towards the end of the show. We've got a couple more songs to go through, so thank you for sticking around, Señor Gigio.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this talk. It's nice to get to know you a little better.
Right on, thank you.
Yeah, and your project and everything, and just how artistic you are. I love it.
Oh, right
on. So, Earth Tones. Earth Tones featuring Versol. Tell us about...
Earth Tones and Neon Lights. Earth Tones and Neon Lights.
Earth Tones and Neon Lights, thank you. Earth Tones and Neon Lights featuring Versol. Tell us about Versol and how this collabo came about.
Yeah, Versol she's a female MC, or MC from San Francisco originally, and originally she came out as Baby Chris, and she changed her name to Versol, but ever since she's come out, and I first met her at the same spot where I met Arm Slice, which is Return of the Cypher. And she was coming in. She wasn't even 21 yet into the Boom Boom Room, but she was so dope. They had to make a pass for her and allow her to do her thing, get on stage, and she was immediately and she just coming through, just huge presence on the microphone, and at the same time, she's short. But that's part of it though. She's dynamite, and
you don't expect it coming from that little frame.
Yeah, and
I get it all the time.
I just love her.
I get it all the time. Like, you don't look like a rapper. Mostly because I'm all buttoned up working at a school or at the city. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, but no, I've just always had so much admiration for her. She's been she's probably I don't know. She's definitely one of my favorite MCs in the Bay Area. It's not my number one. She's definitely in my top 3 of artists to just be on point with and check out in the Bay. She's done really well with promoting herself, branding, and just all around quality. And her music is just unfiltered passion. She's just such a passionate person. If you ever get a chance to watch her perform live, it's just super passionate, raw energy. Will just have everybody banging their heads.
I love it.
Being yeah, she's off the hook.
So you respect her. You met her at Boom Boom Room. And then you just reached out and said, "Hey, let's get on this track together."
Yeah, well, we've been just in the same way. It's almost like this I don't know almost like this class of MCs that came through at Return of the Cypher, because I know there've been it's almost like there have been different eras of that, Return of the Cypher, but almost like this era that me and her came in, we all kind of stick together and just network and do shows. So I mean,
yeah, I get it.
So she's like fam to me, but no, even in that way though, even with I consider her fam, but even still, I hold her with so much regard, as an MC, where I'm damn, I really, there's a fan part of me that I want to make this happen really badly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Of course.
Yeah.
So Earth Tones and Neon Lights, the title, what does that mean?
Man, this is just one of those things that just came to me. It just came to me. I couldn't even tell you what it means, honestly. I had the beat, the whole concept for this song. It started out with me pitching the idea to Aquaman that I wanted to do some 80s freestyle, type music, and that maybe, but amped up for today with some Bay sounds to it. And I knew that I wanted to do something like that with Versol. That's what he dropped on me. That's what it's like he dropped me this canvas, and it's like, wow, boom,
I love the beat. Yeah, I definitely love the beat. It's fire.
Yeah, and literally, I had my verses written, and then I just, it's just, the concept of the chorus just came to me the same way the chorus is written. I just said it, just Earth, Tones, Neon Lights, Versol, and GGO make you feel all right. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that for real? And I have to say it a couple times to be like, okay, no, I'm not just crazy. That's dope. We're gonna do that.
Well, I love it. I love it, even it being sort of vague and not necessarily having a definitive meaning, but I like it because there's a lot of things it could mean, to the listener. And I like it when you place it and put your own meaning. You have a little wiggle room there to make it your own.
Right. Well, I think there is some meaning though to it though. When I really thought about it afterwards, so like the meaning of it too is like really like the music that we're coming with. I mean, one there's like it's two layers to it. Well, we're looking at the colors, right? We're looking at earth tones and neon lights, right?
Right.
But then the actual word of like earth tones. So we're talking about the actual sounds that we're coming with, and the sounds are very, earth centric, very grounding. Aquaman has like done a lot of, he experiments a lot with like just sound frequency and healing vibrations and stuff. And then the other concept of that is that when the human body is experiencing these earth resonances, basically what happens is that our aura lights up, and that's it's kind of like some neon lights. So that's how I ended up interpreting it afterward. Once I kind of figured it out, like, oh, okay, that's what I meant by that, but I didn't know it at first.
What awesome! No, I get it, because I mean that's how these awesome epiphanies kind of happen. Like, it just happens, boom, and then to take time to find its deeper meaning. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at this. This is Earth Tones and Neon Lights by Señor Gigio from his newest release, The Life Aquatic, featuring Versol here on KISL 88.7 FM. I'm your host, B-Girl Awoke. This is Break at 7 here on KISL 88.7 FM, greatest radio station in the world. I'm doing a little Q&A and introducing a friend of mine, Señor Gigio. He's a prolific MC out of the Bay Area. Knew him and a couple of friends from Boom Boom Room down in San Francisco, doing ROTC, Return of the Cypher. And here we are today talking about his album, his latest project, The Life Aquatic, and all that is good. How you doing there, my man?
Oh, I'm doing really good. I was really enjoying that whole little freestyle throwback medley you put together. That was fresh.
Yeah, right. Well, it's a balancing act for me, because I definitely like to stay true to funk and hard funk.
Yes.
And play that, and then then even the new break beats and going into that. But those break beats, because it's they're bringing everything together, world music, all that stuff. So then I kind of spawn off on those, I'm like, oh, but this is dope, and then you still got to pay dues to rap, so but I definitely am about incorporating hip-hop culture in a positive way in this community, because it is not here. Not that it hasn't been here, it's just not here now. There's not what I would call a vibing culture. So to be a teacher here and bringing that and bringing the music, I want to be well-rounded and such, but I'm not going to go so far out, not on this show anyways, break at 7, because that's, specifically for the breaks. So, so I got to keep that in there. But, I wouldn't change it for the world, being able to do stuff like this, Q&As with, family, Bay Area, underground hip-hop peeps. It's like you said, hip-hop is a way, has been my avenue too, to share myself and feel a part of something that's bigger than me, and then also receive that love as well. And for me, this is just part of that. Like, I finally get to kind of give back to all those people who always lit me up all the time and gave me opportunities for the mic and, all that kind of stuff. Invited me to jams or whatever gigs they were doing to become a part of it, for sure.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah. So we're down to... actually, I'll just go off on that. I do have a question. As a man in the Bay Area, seeing hip-hop and participating in the culture by creating music and art, do you feel participants like yourself get enough notoriety, have enough opportunities to share themselves in the community, or is it every man for himself?
Oh, wow. Dang.
Save the good one for last. Hey.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. I mean, look, the thing is that, and I find that this is kind of like a theme that, like, maybe, some the hip hop artists who promote conscious, maybe more, not necessarily like it's like purely conscious, but just I guess we're more on the on the tip of just, you know, what we kind of preserve the culture of hip hop too, you know, versus kind of like the more mainstream side of Bay Area, which is great too. I love that stuff, obviously. But yeah, just I feel like we who preserve the culture, we also I don't know, like we become like these monks, you know.
Yeah.
like we have to do everything for peanuts and offerings and whatnot. But the truth is like I feel, at least for me, like my intention is that like I want this music to, you know, go as far as it can go and go as high as it can go. So yeah, I do feel that like what's going on in terms of like the conscious music and the conscious hip hop music in the Bay Area is sadly like underrated and unappreciated on a huge scale, because there are so many talented figures, people who I just know have so much potential to just, they could light up worlds and really like once the industry, or if they ever do figure it out, I mean, there's money to be made off of it because cats are invested into their craft, and you have real stars with true star power, right, you know, to take this to the next level. But I don't know, I guess once people start figuring out, they're like, oh, actually, like this actually does sell, and you know, and there's probably you could probably a lot more accountability from us too as artists too. Like you probably find like, oh, these cats are actually a lot more accountable and professional actually to deal with versus these guys who are just going wild, right?
Right. Well, there's a market. There's a market, is what you're saying, and,
yeah.
And I think that's true. And it shows in in every facet. Politics, what we're buying, merchandise. I mean, that conscious movement, it's a moneymaker, retreats, blah, blah, blah. So why wouldn't it make sense that people would want to buy conscious hip-hop? You know, there's this whole idea of what it is already, and why wouldn't you give them what they want, which is conscious hip-hop, instead of all this other stuff, where they're like, oh, that's for little kids. So...
Right.
The adults that are all grown up, they're asking for it. So,
right.
And we're trying to give it. So yeah, I get, you know, and that's what I guess I'm trying to do here too, even through this and sharing people's music and creating these opportunities, as much for myself as for everyone else, to get unique individual voices out there. And I'm into the conscious movement and music. And if there was someone who was like way left field on that other thing, that's just not me. So, you know, it's just not me. It's not what I do. So, yeah, for me, this is like music, like minds. It's nice to have that avenue to share. So, yeah. And Swimming in the Bay, all your music, that's what I get from it. And I like it because it's Swimming in the Bay. It's a great hype dance track, and it's great. And you're not getting vulgar or doing anything bad like that or negative. Going too far, which I love. And you even got a video for this one, Swimming in the Bay.
Yes.
Tell me about the video.
Well, so we released the video last Thursday. And just the video was, we got very creative, you know, like we did like a series of different shoots. We shot in Berkeley and Telegraph. We shot on Nashberry in San Francisco. We also shot like in the Marine Headlands with the Golden Gate Bridge in the back, and also shot in Oakland, over in the it's kind of like the industrial park area over there where all the cranes are. And then I'm also infusing some you know, some of my animation stuff, you know, so I got some animation going in there. There's a lightweight kind of story going on in the video as well, and also got the chance to work with a legendary boogaloo dancer from Oakland, OG Mike, you know.
Oh, nice. Yeah, did the whole Bay tour and then got the star power in there with the boogaloo dancer. I love it.
Yeah. And it just was I thought about it, all the different ways to go about this video, and to represent the song, and it is like a hyphy kind of song, or like, I guess, it's that sound. It's inspired by that sound.
Right.
And I thought all these ways. I'm like, well, hold on. Let me just not do what's already been done into the ground before. Not that it's, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just like, it's already been done. Let me do this my way, and let's just have fun. And that's what it's about. So
I think you recreated it great. You did it great, because a lot of people, they try to mimic it and copy it, and it falls flat in that unique area, and that just seems bitten and copied. But I think you kept the essence and definitely made your own. I think you succeeded on this one for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good job.
I'll take it.
So swimming in the bay, ladies and gentlemen, this will be our last track, but we'll stay tuned. We will say our goodbyes. This is Swimming in the Bay. Make sure to check it out on YouTube. Make sure to check out Señor Gigio on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Señor Gigio. You know where to find him. And get this new album, The Life Aquatic. You won't be disappointed. Here we go, Swimming in the Bay on KISL 88.7 FM, the greatest radio station in the world.
You swimming in the bay. You swimming in the bay. So much game, we wrote the code on the whole frame.
Oh, yeah. So I hate that I got to close off the show right now, everybody, but this is break at 7. We're going half over the hour into 8, but it's been a great show. I've really enjoyed having my friend, Señor Gigio, back on air with me and sharing his newest project, The Aquatic. I love it. So how you feeling about today?
Oh, I'm feeling super just blessed and just really grateful. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my music and to share my story, and chop it up on air with you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing yourself. It was great. It was a great show. And so if they want to get this album, are you on Bandcamp, or where can my listeners get it?
Sure, yeah, you can get it on Bandcamp, or if you want to be super cool, you can get it directly from me via my website, which is senorgigio.guru. And, and you can get the MP3 version or the album, the physical album, too. So
right, with the artwork. Does it come with the artwork? Or
yeah, it comes with the artwork, and the artwork is pretty awesome, and I got some cool little stickers and stuff too. So
I love it. You get the merch.
When people buy stuff, if you buy something from me, I usually throw like little art things in there too. So you might get like a little surprise or something. You know what I mean?
SeñorGigio.guru, GURU.
Yep.
I love it. This is Break at 7. Thanks for joining me again. You have a good night. Have a good night there, all my listeners, and stay tuned for the next show, where hopefully we'll be having you back, Señor Gigio, and some more of our friends,
on.
Right?
For sure, right on. That's what's up. Thank you.
All right, have a blessed night, y'all.
Peace.